my friend Kylie and her husband Ben, they're both around my age, 25, 26-ish, and they've been married since last June, but they've actually been together more or less since they were in 7th grade. So what I wanted to do was present them with this tweet thread that I found of this guy at 1G Cisneros on Twitter, who said he's been married for 23 years, and this is advice he would give his younger self. So I'm just going to present them with some of the stuff that he said and see how they react to it. Here goes nothing. Oh, also, we've been drinking.
Therapy. Season 3 of Therapy. Season 3 of Therapy. Season 3 of Therapy.
Be adventurous. My wife and I have run a marathon together, climbed a volcano together, and we've traveled to Belize, Cuba, and Mexico together.
The way that they're phrasing adventurous just sounds like a lot of money to me.
Thank you.
Yeah. We try new things together. Like, we'll go to new restaurants around town. And, like, I mean, we've definitely thought about, like, oh, how great would it be if we could go on this vacation? But, like, I don't know. Like, that's a lot.
The thoughts there. Okay.
Yeah, normal people can't afford to go to Belize and climb mountains and dumb shit like that.
Jump in a volcano.
Yeah. Now, that's one thing. But also, like she said, being adventurous is like, hey, have you ever had Thai food before? No, I haven't. Let's go try Thai food. That's something that you can, like, there's being adventurous within budget, you know what I mean?
Yeah, within reason.
Like, experiences can be, like, a different variety depending on the budget. And, like, if you want to be adventurous with the different experiences, especially if you haven't done those experiences before, that's something that would definitely strengthen your relationship. And just figure out what your likes and dislikes are.
Yeah, and I mean, you can see, like, how the other person reacts to some new thing, you know. I don't know, if I went on, like, a roller coaster with him and he, like, freaked out, I'd be like,
not this adventure.
Yeah.
Wake up with the thought, she won't outlove me today.
I feel like just cooking breakfast for unprompted is enough to warrant that statement.
That's good enough. That's fair. So you feel like every morning, if you get, like, you know, first step ahead, you're like, yeah.
If I can feed her, take the dogs out, and make coffee, then, like, I don't even have to worry about something like that. And honestly, out-loving someone, like...
Sounds kind of gross when you say it out loud.
What are you doing? Are you competing against your wife to, like, show affection? Like...
It's funny that you say that, because our next bullet point says,
some say marriage isn't a competition. It is for me. I'll love her more.
You don't feel that way.
I mean, honestly, like, for me, it's more just being able to coexist and be able to be comfortable and happy with each other for the long run. Marriage isn't a sprint, it's a marathon, bro.
Yeah, listen! That's called motherfucking bars,
Never stop dating her. At least once a week, you plan everything.
So, like, adult shit. What's your schedule like, honestly?
Yeah, like, we don't really have a schedule where we can go on dates. I mean, we kind of do now. Like, he just got a job where, like, we're both off at the same time. For the longest time, like, our entire relationship, we've had opposite schedules.
For the last 6 years.
Yeah, so it's just kind of been like, okay, well, like, I see you at night when I'm at home, and I see you maybe in the morning before work, and, like, okay, great, if we can plan something like a vacation, you know, during the summer or whatever, that's great, but we don't really do, like, date nights, you know.
But now, the first time in 6 years, I have a job where I have weekends off.
Yeah.
And she has weekends off because she has a normal office job. And like I said, I didn't finish college, so the most money I could make in Nashville was doing service industry and restaurant stuff. So it's like, you never get weekends off and stuff like that.
Got you. Okay, so did you feel like that was something that you were missing out a lot on? You're like,
man, we don't have enough dates.
Or you guys, like, take it or leave it, you know, we're doing the best we can.
I don't know, I
Me,
think...
personally, not having weekends off was the worst thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, once I got a job where I got weekends off, I feel like I've unlocked a portion of my life I wasn't able to, like, experience. Being able to wake up and experience the whole day with my wife. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I get that. But, like, for me, I wasn't, like, sitting there like, oh, man, I just really wish Ben would take me out on a date tonight. Like, gosh darn.
Yeah, we were able to make it work.
You know,
another
like,
day with no dates.
Yeah, like, I don't know. It's not that big of a deal to me. But I mean, yeah, it's nice to be, like, wined and dined every now and then.
intentional about communicating in your marriage. Set up a time to talk every single day.
Well, you just have to be open to communication whenever it comes up. Like,
Yeah.
I think the idea of setting up a specific time to be like, we need to talk for 10 minutes about
Like
what's
you're at
actually
work and
going
you have
on.
like a weekly meeting.
that sounds like something a therapist does.
Yeah.
Okay, good. George, you missed the mark. I'm sorry.
I'm obsessed with video games. That's my major hobby. And it's like, when she tries to come up and tell me something while, like, something major's happening in the video game, it's like, you know, there's, like, read the room, kind of. And it's like...
Right.
Yeah, and it's like, there's like...
There's a time for everything.
Yeah, like, there's certain points where I can devote my entire attention to you, but it's like, if I'm, like, sitting there trying to do something and I've spent the last, like, 20 or 30 hours doing, especially the last couple of days, you can't just come up to me and just expect my full attention, especially if I can't, you know, as lame as it is, pause the thing that I'm trying to do. It's like, that's how, like, things are nowadays. It's like, you can't sit there and just pause everything at a moment's notice. Like,
Yeah.
as lame as it is, like, not really set a time, but kind of like realize when you can or can't.
I agree. I feel like setting a time aside every single day is like a lot. I'd be like, dude, I just assume that
It's
you're
not a
doing
therapy
okay.
session.
Yeah,
Right.
like just relax.
Put your spouse ahead of your kids. They'll leave someday.
Not applicable for us, for sure.
Put your spouse ahead of your parents.
Okay, so you're on like a long business trip, right? So you come back home. It's been like 10 months. You haven't seen anybody that you love. You haven't seen them face to face. You haven't hugged them, touched them, whatever. And you get out of the car, and your mom and your daughter and your wife are standing there. Like, who do you hug in which order? Does it matter? Do you even think about it?
I have an order.
So fast.
Give me your order.
I have an order. Okay. Daughter first. And then spouse. Then parent.
Ben?
I mean, personally, I've just recently gotten into hugging my family and stuff, so...
He's not lying.
Yeah, so, like, I guess my wife would be the first, and then mom, dad,
And then your hypothetical child.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What if they're like 4? They're like, Daddy, Daddy! And you're like, nah, hold on.
Okay, replace child with dog.
For dog, it'd be whichever one came up to me first. So,
Okay.
like, yeah, whichever child was more enthusiastic about the hugs would be the one.
You
that
get
got
out the
them
car
first.
and you're just like, whoever, come on.
Yeah, it's
Just-
a competition. I'm
It's
able.
a competition.
There's more enough dad to spread around the love. You know, like I can hug more than one child at once, especially if they're that small.
Fair enough.
Don't watch porn. If you're addicted, get help.
Stop it. Get some help.
I don't know. I was kind of weird about it at first. I don't know why. I think I just had this like weird view of porn that like if a guy watched porn, he would have like super high expectations like in real life, and that like I don't know, it would cause problems, but in real life it's like who the fuck cares?
It doesn't really,
You know?
matter.
I don't
Yeah.
know, like, and to be fair, like, I'll just straight up tell you, like, yeah, I've seen porn, I've watched porn, like, it's not a big deal. I don't really care.
Yeah, as long as you don't let it affect your sex life.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the best way to see it is like an outlet in case, you know, your other, like, because the name of the game nowadays is consent, right? Like,
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, if the other partner isn't feeling it, well, what's a good healthy outlet, you know? The last thing you want to do is sexually repress your partner.
We're just not always on the same page. We don't always want to be,
That's just people.
you know, doing it
That's
at the
people
same
and
time. And
hormones.
so it's like, okay, yeah, you need to take care of business. Go on. Go do what you gotta do. I don't care.
Just turn down
You
the
know.
volume.
Right, yeah.
We don't want to hear that nonsense while we're, you know, being adults.
Yeah.
While we're praying.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're praying.
The only woman you should be alone with is your wife. This shows your faithfulness.
What if I was hanging out with a friend for like just 20 or 30 minutes, just hanging out, just like,
Yeah.
I don't know, showing me a new video game or something? That's one thing. If I was going out of state, you know, hanging out, you know,
Right, yeah, like leaving
by ourselves, you know,
for days
like,
on end, yeah.
I mean, there's certain levels of comfortability to like, you know, like depends on the situation. You can't just say, what if you're alone with a woman?
Right.
Right.
So let's say hypothetically, you knew some random girl from high school that had a podcast and she invited you on.
Right. I'd be like, it'd be one thing if Kylie went an hour and a half away to go do this podcast, and then just I don't hear from her from like the next night and a half, and it's just like, hey, I'm coming back like, tomorrow night maybe.
Right, like that's weird.
As long as there's like clear communication, it's cool.
Or like if I could just calm down and hang out once I'm done with work, or if I'm free to hang out, like if I could come see down everything. Like this is like, as long as there's not some like, no, you can't do anything. No, you just want to be open and honest. Like that's all it really is.
Take care of her financially. Financial security is high on her list of needs.
Like, not to brag. Do it. But like, I have made more money than Ben for a hot fucking minute. And it's not a big deal. Like, I don't care if I make more money. At one point, he made more money than me.
Right.
Like we've taken turns, I guess. And so like, I don't know, money doesn't really matter as long as like we're comfortable, we have what we need, and we're okay. Who the fuck cares? If he's the one providing or if I'm the one providing, like, it doesn't matter. As long as we're cool.
I was going to say, the idea of providing for her is kind of outdated. Like, it's a team effort nowadays. And it's like, it's one thing if one person is able to be smart enough and go to school and get a job that can support both people while one person's a stay-at-home parent.
Time out. You don't have to go to college to get a good job. You can still make money.
Yeah, you can still get good money from doing trades and stuff. But like nowadays, it's more common for both people to be working two jobs, and it's like as long as you see it as a team effort, and you're being cooperative with it, and it's not, oh, I made more money than the other person, I get to do whatever I want, you have to do what I say. Like,
yeah, and that's like, I think another big part is like, I've seen some people in relationships like be the person that makes the most money and then like try to take control and be like, well, I made all this money and I think we should buy a new mattress or whatever the fuck,
You're both living the same life.
Yeah.
Sweet. What's mine is yours.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
That's the idea behind it, at least.
Thank you all for tuning into Therapy today. Hopefully you learned a little something from what seemed to be, at least to me, a happy, successful couple early on in their marriage journey. Thanks again to Kylie and Ben for being on the show and opening up about their relationship and letting me in their home after not seeing either of them in 8 years. Very, very hospitable.
Thank you.
Subscribe to my YouTube. It's free. Check out Kylie's stickers. They're cheap. And if you care about that dude who'd been married for 23 years, whose tips we critiqued, I'll link that in the description of this episode as well. Love you. Mean it.
Yeah.
See you soon.
11 years old, getting bullied about the glasses. I used to be afraid to get caught lacking between the classes. And in high school, I was trying to impress the girls and they were laughing. But you gotta remember who's laughing with you and who's laughing. Wait, talking about being popular back in grade school, that's lame as hell. If I ever do it again, then I swear to God, just kick my tail. I should not be swearing. My mom's a God-fearing woman and I fear the man upstairs too, but he's